Hi, I'm Mal, and welcome to another episode of Mini Model Makes. We're still in lockdown at the moment, so I hope everyone's staying safe. They're keeping out of harm's way. Make sure you don't go out anywhere you shouldn't be doing, and hopefully see you on the other side. I recently did a video on my Ogor Morpot and a couple of Ogors, and I had the idea that we would do a video on Ogre skin. So what I've done is throughout this week I've been painting up another couple of Ogres. I've gone through the step-by-step process and videoed that. So without much further ado, we'll get cracking on with that. I'll show you what we've done. Alright. Here's our Ogor. As you can see, I've already done his trousers, gut plate, boots, basic colours. He was undercoated with the Citadel Wraithbone spray. Such an amazing spray to use, goes on really nice and silky smooth, which is what you need to put your new Citadel colour paints over the top of. But yeah, just done sort of the bottom of the model and started on the base and things, as you can see from there. I've keeping one of his hands off so I can paint that separately. Can't really do that with the arms, so his other arm is a bellower or whatever they are now called these days. It's the equivalent of a musician in the old fantasy. So here we've got our Citadel Colour Contrast Dark Oath Flesh. Gave this really good shake. I cannot stress how much you've got to shake these new paints. And then the beauty of them is, get your model and just liberally apply the Dark Oath Flesh all over the model straight from the pot. You don't have to mess around with this. I'm going to cover the model and then I'll move on to the next step. Okay, so our Dark Oath Flesh is dried and given us a lovely rich tone to the flesh, which for a quick paint job is actually quite nice, but we're going to embellish that now. So we have Cadian Flesh Tone next. Good shake. You want to do, I've got my palette here over to the side. I'm going to try and replicate the mix. You've got it here nicely in shot. There we go. We want to get some water into that. Now what we want to do, we want it to be quite opaque. We don't want it to completely cover the flesh. That's kind of the beginner's mistake, is for this colour to completely go over the colour below it, and that's not what you want with this. And what we're doing is we're picking out raised areas of the flesh. So it's really good around these areas here. Trying to keep it in shot to go over there, and we're going to work our way around the model. So these raised areas on the back here, and we're going down. Actually this is probably a bit too thin, but I'm going to do multiple coats of it anyway, so too thin really isn't too bad. It'll help build up a better thing. You can see already there it's starting to bring some definition. It's wet, so it's quite shiny, but it's starting to bring some definition onto the skin. And same again, just working down there and across, and we're going to go all the way round the model. So it's the same on here. We can pick out these raised areas on the shoulder there. Okay, I'm going to carry on with that and back to you shortly. Okay, so that's now dried. I've got another Ogre that's at the last stage. So that's just the Dark Oath Flesh over the top. So there he is. And then with those two thin, they're not quite glazes, but they were quite thin coats of Cadian Flesh Tone. You can see, I'll put them side by side, the difference there between the richness of the skin. Now that's taken me really, all in all, like an extra 5 minutes on top of that. So look, you're just going a step up from the actual contrast paints, using not much effort, and it's looking more realistic. Look, it looks a lot better off minimum effort there. Okay, so that's the two side by side. Now, yeah, I'm not going to win a Golden Demon, and I never am. I'm not the best painter in the world, but can you see how much that could make your army stand out just a bit more by doing that? So, moving that ogre back to one side, we're going to go a step up now and use kislev flesh. Exactly the same as before. Some water on the brush. I'll mix it onto here so you can see it at the side. Just a step lighter on the skin now. Plenty of water into there. Okay, there it is. Try not to overload my brush. And for this I'm using an Army Painter Wargaming Regiment brush. It's a biggish brush, you know, you don't have to be tiny and precise. Same again. Find the raised areas of the skin. Might take a couple of coats. We're just doing the same. So these are they're great for looking at, for you to figure out where these raised areas of skin are. You know, you don't have to do too much for this as well, because you're kind of highlighting where you've worked before. Try to keep it out of the recesses, and you don't have to go too mad at making sure there's a lot of coverage, because you're just trying to work on top of the skin you've already done. Same again in there. And I'm just going to build that up now. So a couple of coats on that and I'll come back to you. Okay. So our kislev flesh is done and drying on the model. I'll just bring it up. And I've got our first stage, the after the dark oath one. And that's the difference between the two now. Now there's, you know, 20 minutes work on that model difference to this starting guy really. A lot of it's waiting for the paint to dry and just being selective where you put your layers. You can see the difference there. You know, it's going to make your army look great if you go to a tournament or to your local games workshop or whatever. Just stands out from that really good start that the contrast paint gives you. Not much more effort and you're at this level. I think it's starting to look really good. Now, what I am going to do is just go one step further. For this next one I have got flayed one flesh. Same again, just giving my paint a shake. We are going to get some of that onto our palette. There we go. We are going to get some water into that as well. You know, this is why you thin your paints down. When I first started painting, yeah, well, some people probably say I still do slap it on thick, but you know, it's just straight out of a pot is not good. Get some water down, get it thinned down. Now what I want to do with this one, this is just really selectively highlighting some of the areas, just trying to get him into shot. So I'm going to start picking out some of the areas on his face, like his very impressive chin and lips, bridge of his nose starting there, a bit on the cheek, picking out some of the features of around his head, starting to go from that. Don't worry, when it dries it tones it down a bit. The lights, this white light's a bit harsh as well. And then what I'm going to do, you see areas here like on the arms, I'm just going to pick out and be selective about some of the areas. Bicep there, some of the areas around his pec pectoral muscle. Lovely area. These models are, you know, God, I worked for Games Workshop about 2004 and they were out about then. So they're quite old, but they've got amazing detail on them, really. So this arm's quite a nice example again. We are going to just pick out raised areas there, and I'm just going to work my way around him now and get back to you shortly. There we have our Ogor with the final step after that flayed one flesh highlight, just around the areas around the face, bridge of the nose, chin, just picking out a few areas on the arms, the raised musculature there. And that's skin wise, he's pretty much as done and dusted as far as I want to do for a line trooper, really. There's our original comparison to the Dark Oath, so for not much effort, you know, massive difference there. What I will do with this guy now is his nipples will get a little bit of pink horror put on them just to make them stand out, and around the areas of his lips I'm going to put some Carroburg Crimson on. In fact, I'll quickly shake that up, get some of that on, little brush again, just make sure we're on there. What I'm going to do is just make sure the area around his lip is done, the upper lip there, and I'll be using Pallid Witch Flesh on the teeth and the eyes, but that's it. Okay, what I will do is I'll wrap up this video. I've gone through the skin, which is what I really wanted to show you. I've got another video on how I've done Ogres and the Morput. Not so much painting through them, but going through the colours I've used and palette in more detail. And I will finish these guys off and his other mate over there, and get them on the turntable and put them on at the end of the video so you can see them better in close up. Okay, bye for now. And there we have it. That's my video on Ogor flesh, which will work pretty much on anything you want to, really. There's such lovely models to do skin on. I know I've taken my flesh painting on to the next level just by doing that little squad, which is really good. Okay, so that's it for now. Not sure what I'm going to be doing next. Maybe something heresy related, but stay safe out there as always. If you like this video, like, subscribe and share, please. I'm slowly getting towards 40 subscribers. Ooh, go me. And it'd be nice to get some more and get some feedback from anyone out there. If it's inspired you to paint some flesh on your models or anything, or an Ogre army, please let me know. I've got a Mini Model Makes Facebook page. You can join there. I'll put that up as well. And I think that is everything I need to cover. So as I say, once more, stay safe. Bye for now. Take care.